Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Hey, welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. Today, I want to stay with the ordinary. Not because ordinary life is small, but because I'm starting to believe that most of what becomes sacred in our lives begins there. A room is just a room until someone we love fills it with their presence. A song is just a song until it carries a memory. A road is just pavement until we remember who was beside us the last time that we drove it. Love changes the meaning of things. It doesn't always change the thing itself. The chair may be the same chair, the house may still stand where it always stood, the old coffee cup may have no value to anyone else, but to us, it carries something. A life touched it. A memory settled there. Love left a trace. That's why ordinary objects can become difficult to throw away. It's not the object alone we're holding on to. It's the person, the season, the feeling that somehow became attached to it. A jacket hanging by the door, a handwritten note, a recipe card with a stain in the corner. I've got some of those. Someone else might see clutter. We see a doorway. That is the strange power of love. It lets the past remain present, not as a place that we can return to, but as something still living inside of us. I think about how many moments pass by without us knowing they are becoming important. A meal at the kitchen table, a drive home after a long day, someone laughing in the other room. At the time, we may not pause. We may not feel anything dramatic. We're simply living. Then, years later, that same moment comes back to us with a light around it. We realize love was there. It had been turning something ordinary into something that we would one day treasure. Maybe that's why memory can feel so mysterious. It doesn't save everything. It chooses little pieces, like a sound, a smell, or a sentence someone said without knowing that it would remain. Suddenly we're back there, not completely, but close enough for the heart to remember. Love makes places hold meaning. A porch can become sacred because of the conversations that happened there. A hospital room can carry both sorrow and tenderness. A grocery store aisle can bring back someone who always bought the same thing, right when you see it too. The world's full of hidden altars like that. We walk past them every single day. Places where love once showed up. Places where it still echoes. I don't mean sacred in a distant or formal way. I mean the kind of sacred that enters life quietly. The kind that doesn't need stained glass or ceremony. Sometimes sacred simply means that this mattered. This person mattered. This moment was part of a life that I loved. When we understand that, the world becomes deeper. Not easier, not always happier, but deeper. The ordinary stops being flat. A table can hold memory. A doorway can hold grief. A song can carry us back to someone that we miss. And that, guys, oh, believe me, trust me, and I think you all know, that can hurt. Love makes beauty possible, but it also gives absence a shape. The more something meant, the more we feel the space that it leaves behind. Still, I would not want a life where nothing became sacred. I wouldn't trade any of those moments. I would not want to move through the world untouched, safe from longing, because nothing had mattered enough to ache. There is pain in loving, and most of us all know that. There's also meaning. And meaning may be one of the ways that we survive the pain. When someone we love is no longer beside us, the sacred ordinary can become a place of meeting. Not in the same way as before, and never in exactly the same way at all. But a memory can sit with us for a while. A familiar phrase can rise up at the right time. A small object can remind us that the love was real. That matters. Because grief can make people feel as if the whole thing has been taken. But love is not so easily erased. It remains in the ways we were changed. It remains in the places that still remember. It remains in the tenderness we carry forward because someone once gave it to us. They keep going. That's one reason I want to pay more attention to ordinary life. I don't want to wait until something is gone to realize that it was holy. I don't want to miss the miracle because it looked like a regular morning. There may be love in the sound of someone making coffee. There may be love in the way a pet follows us from room to room. There may be love in the message that we almost forgot to answer because we assumed there would always be another one. We can't live every second with perfect awareness. That would be impossible. But we can become a little more awake. We can notice what has become familiar. We can let the people near us know that their presence matters before memory has to do the work. That may be one of the gifts of reflection. It helps us see while we're still living inside of the moment. A simple dinner can become more than food when we recognize the care around it. An ordinary visit can become a blessing when we understand that time together is never guaranteed. A quiet evening can become sacred if love is present and we're awake enough to receive it. The sacred doesn't always have to arrive with thunder, like most of these things. Sometimes it enters through routine. Sometimes it wears the clothes of habit. Sometimes it's hidden in something we do every day until one day we realize we were being held by it. I think of all the people who keep ordinary love alive. They may never even call it sacred. They pack lunches. They check on neighbors. They remember appointments. They sit with someone who doesn't want to be alone. They keep showing up in ways that could be mistaken for small. But small is not the same as unimportant. A life is built from repeated tenderness. A home is made from more than walls. A relationship becomes strong through moments that often look too simple to name. Love gives those moments weight. It turns them into memory. It makes them part of who we become. All of them, all of you are part of each other and part of me. So today, maybe we can look around with a little more reverence. Not in a heavy way, just gently. The ordinary room, the familiar face, the object that carries a story, the routine we might one day miss. There's sacredness hiding there. Don't take it for granted. Not because everything is perfect, but because love has passed through it. Thank you. Thank you guys for spending this time with me on Infinite Threads. It really matters, and not just to me. May we notice the moments love is making sacred while we're still inside of them. May we hold ordinary life with a little more tenderness, and may we remember that sometimes the miracle is not somewhere beyond the day. Sometimes it is already here, just waiting to be recognized. I love you guys so much, and you know what I need you to do. Go out and pass that on, okay? Later, Gators. Love you.
Fears